What is up, everybody? This is your boy Claymore Lord coming at you with another video. Yes, in this particular video, I'm going to be speaking about sexism, and just for everyone who does not know, which I'm pretty sure most people should know, the definition of sexism is discrimination based off of gender alone. Now, it doesn't say men towards women or women towards men. It is either or. It's one against the other. And the reason why I feel, me personally, that sexism is now a thing is because people of both genders are deciding to intrude on the other individuals' roles. Now, I see myself as someone who sees life for what it is. If this should be something done by a guy, this should only be done by a guy. If this is supposed to be done by a chick, this is supposed to be done by a chick. So, with that being said, that's the major issue with people in today's time regarding sexism. And let me put my phone down because I don't want to keep holding that. um, I know this might come off as that because I know there's going to be some person in the comments who are probably checking this out saying, oh, he's sexist, whatever, whatever. No, I don't discriminate, towards either gender. I treat everyone the same. If you treat me with respect, I'm going to treat you with respect. So it's nothing like that. But there are some things men are supposed to do. A couple example is we run the house. We make the rules, we pay the bills. The way my grandpa was and the way that, he's brought on to me is if you pay the bills by yourself or with your own hard work, you have complete freedom to make any rules in that house that you are paying for. So, good example is let's say if I pay all my bills and I have a woman living with me, significant other that is, I'm going to make whatever rules that I see appropriate. So if let's say I don't want two lights on at the house in the house at the same time if we're both in one room, that's a pretty reasonable, rule because that's saving electricity, you're not wasting money and all that kind of stuff. Another thing me personally I think men should be doing is doing the harder stuff, stuff that are more physically demanding than it is for a woman. Not saying that they can't do it, because I've seen women do a bunch of stuff that men can do. But if you look at any movie, if you look at any older couple back 40 plus years of age, you usually see the man outside cutting the grass or fixing his car or fixing the roof of the house or putting something together, that they bought from IKEA or whatever, usually lifting heavy things around and moving it, just doing a lot of things that are physically demanding. If you look at me like this, I may not be big, but I can hold my own in terms of basic stuff that men do. This is what we are meant for. We're like this because we need to be like this to do the things that we are meant to do. And then with women, y'all are, again, this is just my opinion. I see women more as the maintainers. We're the builders, we're the fixers, we're the people who make sure everything is running. We're like the engine in the car. But with women, y'all are the ones who are maintaining. Y'all are making sure everything is clean, it's working properly. If anything, should happen, and let's say we're not there, you say, hey, this thing broke, pick up something, and then get home and fix it. Y'all basically keep the energy flowing. We keep the building, the foundation, stable, make sure everything is taken care of, the bills are paid, we go out, make the money, we do the hard work. That's what we do because that's what we are meant to do. And then, of course, women, you got to do the cooking, the cleaning, the taking care of the kids because y'all are meant for that. And that's not just my opinion, if you look at it, majority of women, when they go to school for whatever job they go for, it's usually the most that I've heard and seen are social service workers, teachers, and nurses. Those three things have one thing in common: taking care of somebody or taking care of a kid. Nurses, they take care of basically everyone, but they care. They try to maintain the health of the person. Social service workers, they try to maintain and build, a better child than one that is, been abused and is violent and all that kind of stuff. And then teachers, you try to teach, the next younger generation in the way that they should be. But then if you look at, men on the other hand, you see a mass majority of them being things that are more physically demanding. Salesmen, construction workers, power plant workers, a bunch of things that you have to be precise, physically fit to do, and you must be able to do it in crazy environments. Not completely horrible ones, but, some environments that most women be like, no, I'm out of here. Just I'll give you an example with me. When I was over at my landlady's house for, the couple years that I was there, she never once cut that grass. I did. Because I can deal with an hour and a half out in the sun. I can push a push mower back and forth, for an hour, and all that kind of stuff. I've cleaned cars. I've worked, in physical demanding jobs, cart pushing, cart attendant, whatever you want to call it. I've worked as an assistant manager at a job for 5 years, being on my feet for so many hours, But I handled it, I was able to do it. So what I believe that society really needs to do is they need to stop interlocking or intruding in each other's roles. And the biggest thing is the whole "I don't need no man" mindset that is the biggest issue with a lot of people. Because first of all, we are not meant to be independent when it comes to our offsprings and our environment. We are a social bunch. We need help from each other, so we help each other in return. And I'll give you a prime example. My mom personally was a single mother of 4, had 4 different baby daddies, and now look at her. She's lost all of her kids before they even turned 16. She was living in she was basically homeless. I'll just say like that much, because she refused to have a man. And when she wanted a man, it was only for one reason, which of course you can probably figure that out. But when it came to taking care of her kids or taking care of herself or taking care of the house that she was in, she didn't have a man. Because she always thought she could do it on her own. No, you can't do that. You need to have another person in the home to help. And another thing is when men are excluded from the picture, it's not that we're controlling or we're oppressing you. The world has rules that it follows. Every single species has a rule that no other species except for us refuses to follow, and that is the dominant male makes the rules for the pack that they're in or the community that they're in. A prime example, lions. The dominant male lion gets the breeding rights to every woman in the pack, and then once he's done, then the rest of the males can get it, because he is the dominant male in that herd. He makes the rules, the rest of the pack follows. Dominance always precedes before anything else. If you are not dominant in your role, there's a thing called, I don't know if you heard of it, natural selection. If you're not fit to live and to succeed in your life, you get thrown out. A lot of species have gone extinct because they weren't as dominant as everything else on the planet. Like, look at any, alpha hunt predator, lions, sharks, bears, alligators. Why have these things stuck around for so many, million, or not millions, but I know alligators and sharks I think have been around for millions of years. But why are all these major predators been around for so long, but some others aren't? Because they're dominant in their area. You go around, a pack of wolves, you may think you're tough, but compare your primal instinct of being dominant over those 20 wolves, it ain't happening. They know that they're about their crap and they're going to do anything they can to make you food. That's how they live. That's how they survive. That's how they thrive. That's how they reproduce. That's how they control their environment. Anything that comes into their environment is considered a threat or food. So, because we are form of an animal, we are considered in the animal kingdom. The reason why we are dominant in the animal kingdom specifically is because we are much more intelligent than any other thing on the planet. And nature has one of two rules to be dominant: power, in physical power, or intellectual. If I can outsmart you, I win. But if I can overpower you, I also win. So if you're one of those, you already see what I'm saying. But back to what I was saying. Relationships, sexism, all that can be fixed if the rules that the world has already provided and has been doing for thousands and millions of years were to be followed again by us. We would have sexism gone. We would have racism gone. We would have a lot of the issues that we personally have created gone. But the thing is, because we can create these things that other animals and species cannot, it's up to us if we want to let these things destroy us or, let them go and build off of something that is actually worth building on. Because, again, racism, sexism, discrimination in any shape or form, any issues in any shape or form are entirely self-inflicted. You're taught to be these things. You're not born them things. The only things that you're born is what you physically look like. And that is because your mom and your dad put together their genes, and then you are a combination of their traits. That's the only thing that is not choice. That and death, pretty much. So, but everything else is controllable. Everything else has some type of malleability to your, whatever you want it to be. So, if sexism is to be eradicated from the face of the earth, we have to make it a obsolete concept. We have to make it look as if it does not exist. But anyways, that's my quick video. Hope y'all have enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.